Hi Bendu, I'm back, and today I'm coming at y'all with another video. So this was something that I actually heard about while watching an episode of the Fred Hampton Leftist. Great channel, you guys should trigger the tongue. I'm sorry, guys. You guys should subscribe to their page if you're already not. I'm assuming, you know, if you listen, if you watch my channel, you probably watch them. So but if you're not, you should be, and definitely subscribe. They just had their General Strike Summit this past weekend, so I would definitely go back and watch those live streams. It should be up on their channel. So but one of the things they were talking about, that, and I believe it was Nick, by the way, that was talking about this, he brought up the fact that, and kind of in passing, that the Biden administration will be denying basically public housing to people due to like marijuana reasons or things like that. So I decided to look into it, and I found this dope article on Marijuana Moment. You guys should also check their outlet out if you haven't, because they do great news on, you know, the whole marijuana thing and everything. So let's go ahead and read through that article because I found it very fascinating. So here we have it, and you guys already know I'm going to be linking this down below. So go, you know, read the whole article yourself, but we're going to read the whole thing here anyway. So, but let's get into this. So the Biden administration will keep denying public housing over marijuana despite Congresswoman's request. This is written by Kyle Yeager. I think that's how you say his name. So let's go ahead and get this started. The U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, or HUD, says it is required to continue denying federally assisted housing to people who use marijuana, even if they're acting in compliance with state law. So I believe, and he talks about this later on in the article too, that's including medical marijuana and even states that have legalized marijuana, which is interesting. This is Joe Biden basically upholding the drug war. Representative Eleanor Holmes Norton, Democrat DC, sent a letter to HUD Secretary Marsha Fudge in May, imploring the department to use executive discretion and not punish people over cannabis in legal states. The department's response letter, which Norton released on Tuesday, says that consistent with federal law, HUD prohibits the admission of users of marijuana to HUD assisted housing, including those who use medical marijuana. So when we're having, a housing crisis, we're in the middle of a housing crisis, the eviction moratorium and all that nobody's really talking about anymore. They're also going to be denying people, federal housing assistance because of marijuana. Yes, we're still this is 2021, and we're denying people housing that need it because of marijuana. Again, this is 2021. And you can go check her tweet out. She tweeted down below and everything. She tweeted out the letter and everything. It cited relevant statute and reiterated that the department must prohibit admission to HUD rental assistance programs based on the illegal use of controlled substances, including state legalized medical marijuana. Here's the statute that HUD referred to. Notwithstanding any other provision of law, a public housing agency or an owner of federally assisted housing, as determined by the secretary, shall establish standards that prohibit admission to the program or admission to federally assisted housing for any household with a member who the public housing agency or owner determines is illegally using a controlled substance. And again, marijuana is still, illegal federally. I don't even think it's decriminalized federally, I believe. But this is insanity. So we're going to deny people housing that need it because they use marijuana. This is insane to me. And again, this is Joe Biden upholding the drug war while, his crackhead son gets to go around and do book tours talking about his crack addiction. And we're keeping housing away from people that need it because of marijuana. This is insanity. This is peak insanity. Absent a change in federal law, HUD does not have the discretion to admit users of marijuana, including medical marijuana, to the public housing program, the letter states. Norton said in a press release that she's very disappointed in HUD's decision to refuse to protect residents in federally assisted housings who use marijuana in compliance with their state and local laws. Americans are continually evolving on the issue. Dog, it's like 70% of the country that's in favor of legalizing marijuana. Like Mississippi just legalized medical marijuana. I think they're on their way to doing it, just legally all throughout the state. This is crazy, people. This is crazy. It's not like people haven't evolved on the issue. People are like overwhelmingly against Joe Biden on this issue. And a lot of people talk about this with Joe Biden, even if he does good things, I'm still going to critique him. This will be a good thing, or I'm still going to shit on him. This is one of the few things he could do, which is legalize marijuana. This is one of the things the squad could have, forced to vote on when it came to that shitty ass bill that, they passed. And they could have forced the issue on marijuana. They could have forced the issue on Medicare for all. There's so many issues they could have forced the issue on. But or forced to vote, not forced to issue, but forced to vote, leverage their power to force Joe Biden to actually do something for the people they claim to care about. But they don't, and they continue not to. But this is a reflection of everybody who went out and told you, this is on their heads. All the people that told you to go out and vote for Joe Biden, after people like me, people like Jimmy Dore, people like Fred Hampton leftists, so many others, Graham Elwood, Lee Camp. Like, you can name them all, all of us that get called the dumb left, so eloquently by, the Sam Cedar types and the TYT types, all those people. Like, this is on you. This is on you. All the people he's killing in Syria, that's on you. All the people he killed in Afghanistan, that's on you. I'm going to be doing another story today about the Syria airstrikes back in 2019. Now, that's not on Biden. I mean, technically, it kind of is, because, Syria was him and Obama's pet project. But that was under Donald Trump. But still, he's been airstriking the fuck out of Syria since he's been in office. And stealing their oil as well, continuing what Donald Trump was doing. So this is on y'all. The Congresswoman said, this response shows even more why Congress should enact my bill that would permit marijuana use in federally assisted housing in compliance with state law. No, this is why it should be legalized. This is why Joe Biden should wake his old ass up, take out his pen, and legalize marijuana. He can literally do it like that. That's one of the, I covered it multiple times on the show. That's one of the things he could do like that. Go read David Dan's work about the things Joe Biden could have did in his first 100 days, which he didn't fucking do. He could do it like that. Same thing with Medicare for all, like that. There's things he can do with a snap of a finger, flick of a pen. He's not going to do it because he doesn't give a fuck about you. The department also referenced a 2014 memo that it issued on the subject that similarly, and this is 2014. This is under Obama. On a subject that similarly defers to the statute, but advocates say it's disappointing to see HUD continue to rely on 7-year-old guidance as numerous states have moved to legalize cannabis for medical or adult use in the years since. This is insane. It is a travesty that the Biden administration would prioritize process over people when it comes to a fundamental need such as housing for those who consume cannabis. Justin Strakel, political director of NORML, I guess that's like it's pronounced normal, like, one of those weird acronyms, told Marijuana Moment, with millions and millions of registered medical marijuana patients around the country, disproportionately among them veterans, action must be taken to respect the dignity of our fellow civilians. And I thought we, cared about troops. I guess we only care about troops when people are rightfully so critiquing them when they commit war crimes. That's the only time we defend our troops. We don't give them housing. Apparently we block them from housing because they use marijuana to deal with the bullshit that the United States government put them through. HUD did suggest, however, that property managers have some discretion when it comes to people who have already been admitted to federally assisted housing and who are later found to use cannabis. While they must set policies allowing for determination of housing for people who are found to be using controlled substances, the law provides discretion to public housing authorities and owners to determine on a case-by-case basis when it is appropriate to terminate the tenancy of the household. That's not the type of explicit protection that Norton and others are seeking, however. HUD's response may spur lawmakers to take up the Congresswoman's standalone bill on the issue, which is filed in May this session. Joe Biden could literally, like I said, get up tomorrow morning and with a flick of a pen, snap of a finger, change that and make marijuana federal, like legalize marijuana. His approval ratings will go up. They're in the shitter right now. His approval ratings would go way up if he were to do that. Literally, and this is what they want us to do. You know what? Let me finish the article because I think we're almost done, and then I'll get into that, what I was about to say. Yeah, we're almost done. So let's go ahead and wrap this up. The legislation stipulates that an individual may not be denied occupancy of federally assisted housing on the basis of using marijuana in compliance with state law. And the Department of Housing and Urban Development may not prohibit or discourage the use of marijuana in federally assisted housing if such use is in compliance with state law. Marijuana moment is already, oh yeah, that's like a little thing. They're talking about tracking the bills. Earlier this year, Norton attempted to get the reform enacted as amendments to large-scale spending legislation, but they did not make it into the final bill. The Congresswoman, yeah, shit that actually like helps and protects people, that it's not going to make it into the bill. Of course, it's not. The Congresswoman, that's why so many people have lost faith in electoral politics, man, and people see through this bullshit. That's why people are turning to certain things, and certain demagogic figures, like Donald Trump. We saw this in 2016 because of the fuckery of the political system. And, I tend to not play left, right, things like that. But it's hard for like the everyday person who doesn't follow politics, like I do, or like, we do as an audience, to not fall into that trap because Democrats are in power right now. So, sometimes like I would hear my, more conservative leaning friends talk about Biden this, Biden that, and it gets annoying because it's like, all these presidents are trash. They're all equally garbage. Donald Trump and Joe Biden are the same person. Like that's my mentality behind it all. But what you got to realize is most people are only thinking about what's going on with them right now. That's how most people think. And they're not wrong to think like that. People have fucking lives to live every day. So it's like, when Democrats are in power and shit is going left, no pun intended, shit is going left, with them in power, as it always fucking does. I don't know what to say. Like that, you can't fault them for critiquing Democrats. And I see people like, in a sense, kind of defending Joe Biden sometimes, especially like, like the shit lib types, the Majority Report types, TYT types, Humanist Report, all those guys, their fan base and everything, like they end up, Kyle Kalinske even sometimes, most of the time actually, they end up defending Biden from things that are indefensible. And you end up falling into the partisan trap. Now, some of those people are doing it purposefully, especially those, media, those independent, air quotes around independent media figures are falling into that trap, because that's how they make their bread and butter. And then they call other people grifters for pointing out that bullshit, ironically. But it sucks, and it's sad to see the everyday person, like the fan base, fall into that trap, because it's the same trope or the same shit they say against conservatives. You're voting against your own interest. If you voted for Joe Biden, you voted against your own interest. If you continue to support, donate, and vote for the squad, you're doing all that shit against your interests, because they're not there fighting for you. They're there fighting for their careers and their livelihoods, and that's all they care about. The Congresswoman filed earlier versions of the marijuana and federally assisted housing Party Act. That's weird. In 2018 and 2019, but they did not receive hearings or votes. On a related note, Senator Jeff Merkley filed a bill in July that's meant to promote affordable housing in the U.S. and also includes a provision preventing landlords from evicting people over manufacturing marijuana extracts if they have a license to do so. So, I thought that was a fascinating article, because here you have Joe Biden continuing the drug war, which he was always a huge proponent of. He was a hardcore, almost sounded like a fucking Republican, because guess what? He kind of is a Republican. That's all Joe Biden is. When it comes to marijuana, when it comes to drugs, he was a hardcore drug warrior. And surprise, surprise, he's continuing the drug war. People like me told you this was going to happen. But, one of the things I wanted to talk about, and I may like splice this up into a separate video and make it like a monologue or something like that, and this kind of, so yeah, there you have it. Joe Biden continuing the drug war. But I'm gonna go ahead and close the video out there, guys. As always, thanks for tuning in. Like, subscribe, and share, and definitely comment. Emphasis on all that. And yeah, thanks for tuning in. Peace. Easy.